Interlude 15-2. Hello everyone and welcome back to Fate Stay Night. Let's continue. It's a bit abrupt, but driving away evil spirits is not a priest's duty. A priest preaches about the teachings of God, but doesn't drive away evil spirits. Their God is one and absolute, supreme and all-knowing, a spirit that created the perfect world. Perfect world? Are you sure about this? Such a God would never allow evil to disgrace the world that he created. But evil still exists, corrupting man and tainting the world. God's world is being desecrated by something that should not exist. This is how they defined the contradiction. That even the evil that threatens mankind is a necessary part of the world. It is something worthy of love. In this regard, evil is a messenger from heaven. If what brings out the goodness of man is holy, it follows that what brings out the malice of man is evil. They are both angels sent by God. As one who teaches the word of God, the priest has no right to eliminate them. But evil does exist, corrupting man and tainting the earth, producing gruesome tragedies surpassing human knowledge. At times, the trials from heaven made people realize how powerless God is. The inhuman deeds of the evil caused people to desire for miracles from the great God. Consequently, an exception was created. Apostles, humans that carry out the will of God instead of spreading his word. Trials that should be observed. Heresy that should be denied. People who possess what should not exist. The eighth sacrament. The eighth sacrament? Executors, destroyers of evil devised by the 120 cardinals were born. They drive away darkness, purging all things that are not part of God's teachings. They hunt down that which doesn't exist in the doctrine, so they're not bound by the doctrine. Their immorality is forgiven. There's only one thing that they must protect, the great name of God. For this purpose, they will destroy the evil that God created. That is the only difference between them and the exorcists.
大公社か。連中はこぞって鳩のごとき軽薄さ、蛇のごとき移り身を習わせるというが、なるほど。貴様もその例に漏れぬらしい。
The White Skull laughs. The priest, Kotominakide, doesn't answer, but checks his weapons. 5 black keys on each side and a command spell on his right arm, unused since the last war. These armaments are more than sufficient against a low-ranking spirit. But he cannot kill a servant even if he hits every one of his weapons. Even if he may be nameless, Assassin is a heroic spirit. He can't possibly defeat a heroic spirit unless he has a weapon of the scripture scale that the selected agents carry.
どうした？見れば貴様のそれも投擲するもの。ここで私と一勝負興じてみるか。
The priest doesn't move. He stares at the skull that lurks between the trees, listening to the sounds in the forest. Rustling leaves, the breath under the mask, the sound of slowly melting flesh, and the mad warrior crashing into the distance.
やはりあちらに行ったか。的尾さくらとはうまくいっていないようだな。マキリ造剣。
He talks while staring at the skull.
そうか。わしの気配に気づいておったが、綺麗よ。そこまで分かっていながら足を止めるとは何事じゃ。以前のお主ならば小僧を蒔絵にしても逃げ切ろう。だというのに自らおとりになるなどらしからぬ善行。よもや情にほだされたなどということはあるまいな。
The laugh echoes through the forest. The white skull slightly wavers. The priest doesn't even move his brow.
何？エミやシロを助けたつもりはない。単にこちらに用があっただけだ。
And he speaks with no sign of hostility.
は？わしに用があったと？
無論だ。どのみち、私もエミヤも森からは出られまい。じき殺されるのは分かっている。ならば、死ぬ前に斧が目的のために手を打つのは当然だろう。
ん？では、イリアスフィールがどうなろうと構わぬというのか。 あれを救うために来たのであろうが。
構わんさ。ここでアサシンを倒し、エミやシロを助けに行ったところで間に合わん。エミやシロがあの娘を救おうと救うまいと、もう私には関係のないことだ。
He holds 3 black keys in his left hand. The priest stares at the skull in front of him while holding the swords in a fan form.
ではわざわざこの場に残ったのは。
なあ、私のすべきことはイリアスフィールをお前に渡さぬことか。
The hostility disappears. The white skull melts into the forest without trace.
ここでお前を殺しておくことのどちらかだ。
The blades run. The sword held by the priest and the daggers flung by assassin clash.
そうか、そのために死にに来たか。よかろう綺麗、腐れ縁じゃ。教会の外れ者がどこまで戦うか見届けて死んでようぞ。
The laugh echoes. The holy man who wards off evil meets Marak al-Maut, knowing it's impossible to win. So Marak al-Maut is Assassin's real name. I run through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I can't turn back. It feels like a black wall would be behind me if I turn back, which would kill my spirit to escape alive. I don't have energy to waste on that. He'll catch up to us if my resolve wavers. He'll catch up and kill us both. It feels like my feet will tear off. Ilya may be light, but carrying someone still slows me down. Making matters worse, the forest isn't the best place to run in. Each step nearly causes me to trip. Faster, 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 faster. He'll catch up to us unless I run faster. The presence behind me is getting closer by the second. This is no time to be moving this slowly. I have to run faster, run fast like Kotamine, and run away with Ilya. My heart feels like it's about to explode. It's painful, I can't breathe. The muscles in my legs are about to tear apart, and my bones are screaming to break. It's painful. How long have I run for? I'm running frantically through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I've covered 5 kilometers already. Then again, I'm so short of breath that I can't think, so it might have been twice that. I ran full speed without slowing down. But it won't go away. I'm running full speed, my heart and muscles are about to stop, and yet the presence behind me is getting larger. Ilya's heavy. Oxygen is heavy. My legs are heavy. Death is heavy. I'll die if he catches up to me. I'm burned with the fear of being killed in a single blow. I mentally kick myself before I can falter. Run! Just don't think and keep running. So what if my legs are about to rip off? What's the point in worrying? Think about that when it actually happens. For now, I just need to get out of the forest as quickly as possible. Fill my chest with gasoline, turn the key and ignite the engine that's stalling with fear. Keep the gear at the top, remove the brakes. Run, run, run. Run to shake the uneasiness from my back. Run to ignore the fear behind me. Run so I won't think negative thoughts. Shut up! Don't yell in my ear. My eardrums are about to burst just because of my breathing. I can't spare the effort to listen to your loud voice. Ilya screams in my arms. My mind reacts to a frantic warning before my body does. I stop. My feet slide to a hold in the dirt and I put Ilya down on the ground. I ready the sword I had on my waist and create a magic circuit at the speed of 200 miles per hour. Nothing comes to mind. analysis of creation concept, analysis of basic structure, modification of creation concept, reinforcement of basic structure. In an instant, I manufacture everything without even thinking about it. What's he doing? I resist the impact with all my strength. The whirlwind comes from the side. The pursuer has attacked us from the side, smashing away all the trees in his way. I'm sent flying. All it took was one blow. The black key, which I strengthened to be as strong as diamond, is bent like melted candy. The impact goes through the sword into my body, permeating damage from the tip of my head to my toes. I'm flying. The attack I made with all my might was deflected like nothing. I'm no match against him. I'm no match against him. Emiyashiro isn't allowed to even stop that monster. My body's floating in the air. No, I'm flying. I'm like a thrown lance hurled dozens of meters by the impact. I might fly back to the castle. That's how much stronger he is. Escape is impossible. Time has stopped. I'm still flying, and I should die when I fall to the ground. Having seen the difference in our power, I accept my fate, but...
嘘。やだ。嘘でしょ。まさか。
I see Ilya crying in disbelief with a black monster in front of her. I frantically reach out. I stop my flying body by hitting myself against a tree. It feels like I've been hit in the back with a hammer. My heart, already pushed to the point of bursting, expands still further. It cries in pain as though there's a crack running through it. I can only draw a single breath. I need oxygen, but it feels like I'll explode if I take another. But my body moves. That single breath gives me the strength to run. I use all of my magic circuit to move my muscles and...
どうしたのバーサーカー。私だよ。わからないの。
Entranced, Ilya doesn't move. She just calls out in a weak voice, trying to deny the unrecognizable figure before her. Holy shit. That's the black enemy's true identity. Kotomine said his eyes can't see. He's right, but he's not accurate. That servant has no eyes, nose, or mouth. Well, this is a mouth, isn't it? He even has teeth. His glowing red eyes are there to emit hostility. His body is covered by the black mud, and the wound he received from Saber is left alone. That's something completely different. Engulfed in the mud, he's a monster who can only destroy. He doesn't even see who he's attacking. The mad warrior can't recognize Ilya's figure, let alone mine. He raises his axe sword against the living thing in front of him. Interlude 15:3. The priest is about to end his life. Kotomine Kirei leans against the wall, staring at the white skull. His outfit is slashed up. He is breathing hard, with 3 black keys as his only remaining weapon.
これで爪かの。サーバントを向こうによく持ったと褒めるべきか。
The old man's laugh echoes through the sky. Assassin remains silent, in contrast to his talkative master. Battle is merely work for him. The dirks that go for his opponent's vital spots are also weapons to measure the strength of his opponent. He measures his opponent's mobility with the first dagger. He measures his opponent's action principles with the second. He always keeps 7 meters between him and the opponent. He maintains a distance at which only projectile weapons are useful and measures his opponent's skill. If he cannot kill his opponent in one blow, he will force his opponent to a place where he can. He will drive them into a corner by cutting their limbs and tiring their bodies. For Assassin, the daggers are merely preparation for his fatal attack. He uses them to analyze his target's skill, creates the perfect opportunity, and smashes his enemy with his evil arm. It's just a chore for Assassin, bringing him no joy. It's a boring chore, but the priest is better prey than he expected. He has used at least 20 daggers already. Although he uses them to determine his opponent's skill, each one is still meant to kill. The priest has blocked them and reached this ruin. He dismissed the priest as a mere human, but his powers are admirable. But this is it. His energy drained, the priest leans against the wall and stares at Assassin. He has 3 hidden black keys left. The 7 he threw were all dodged.
では幕じゃな。慈悲をくれてやるがよい、アサシン。
The skull wavers. Assassin fires the daggers without motion, aiming for the temple pancreas and diaphragm. The priest challenges the lightning flashes with his black keys. There is a term called Fatal Attack, a move that will kill, a move that will determine victory. This is it. The 3 daggers are a feint. Kurumine Kirei will die the instant he deflects them.
死ね。
The wing flaps. The cursed arm, the one-winged spear, is developed. It's an unavoidable attack. The assassin knows the priest's capabilities. He knows his prey is tired and wounded. That is why this will kill. The prey should prevent death from the Dirks, but that will be all. Even if he saved up his energy for a counter-strike, his body is incapable of carrying it out. After repelling the 3 daggers, all the priest can do is jump sideways. And only 3 meters at that, he cannot escape the arm. The cursed arm stretches out. The priest has no fear. He is prepared for it. He knows that the daggers are a feint, that the cursed arm will strike him the instant he repels the daggers, and that he has no way to avoid it. No matter what he does, he will die. That is why
セット。
the only thing he can aim for is a double kill. The skull laughs. The cursed arm going for the heart and the black keys cross. But there's no problem. Assassin's cursed arm is the only one that will directly hit the target. The black keys will certainly hit him. But how unfortunate, no matter what magic he puts on the swords, the black keys cannot kill Assassin. The 3 swords will pierce through Assassin, sticking to the tree behind him. But that's it. The priest will inflict injury, but will have his heart torn out in turn. Assassin's arm does its job first. His noble phantasm, Zabanya, sticks to the priest's chest and creates a fake heart. But he feels no solid response. The man's heart gives no reaction, as if it's empty. At that instant, the impact hits him. The 3 black keys hurl Assassin backward, nailing him to a tree. There are 2 surprises. One is that the black keys have sealed his movement, and the other is...
バカな、なぜ死なぬ綺麗。
The priest's black outfit flutters through the air. He jumps. The inhuman action is like a cannon firing. Amassing his strength and releasing it, he covers 10 meters in an instant, up to the trees above. He instantly seizes the head of Mato Zoken, the one who has been observing the battle.
アサシン、何をしておるか。
It does not need to be said. His bodyguard is sewn to a tree by the black keys. To Assassin, this is only a scratch. But the holy nails make it impossible to save the old man.
私が殺す。私が生かす。私が傷つけ、私が癒す。我が手を逃れうる者は一人もいない。我が目の届かぬ者は一人もいない。
Why challenge an enemy he knows he cannot defeat? This has always been his announced intention.
おのれ、貴様、貴様。
黙っていろ。舌を噛むぞ。
The priest grabs his head and drops to the ground.
打ち砕かれよ。敗れた者、老いた者を私が招く。私に委ね、私に学び、私に従え。休息を。歌を忘れず、祈りを忘れず、私を忘れず。私は軽く、あらゆる重みを忘れさせる。
He shows no mercy. The priest smashes the old Magus' body on the ground, crushes his bones, and slams his head against the wall.
そうか、わしを殺すか。よかろう。好きにするがいい。だがそれで何が変わる？お前の望みが叶うとでも思うておるのか。
装うなかれ。許しには報復を、信頼には裏切りを、希望には絶望を、光ある者には闇を、生ある者には暗い死を。
He walks. leaving a smear of blood across the stones as he goes.
なんと救いようのない男よ。未だ人並みの幸福とやらを求めているのか。そのようなもの、お主には絶対にないと理解したのではなかったか。
The blood and flesh paint a picture on the wall. All that remains of the old magus is his head. His body has been ground away against the stone, and not even half of his head remains. Even with his brain passed through the wall, the old magus gives off his last laugh.
休息は私の手に。あなたの罪に油を注ぎ、印を記そう。永遠の命は死の中でこそ与えられる。許しはここに。受肉した私が誓う。
そう、お前には永遠にない。綺麗よ。主は生まれながらの欠陥者に過ぎん。この世の道理に溶け込めぬまま、生還者であり続けるがよい。
キリエ・エレイソン。
The laughter is cut off. The shape that can't be seen by human eyes withers away. Baptismal chant. Within the systematic basis of their magic, the teachings of God are considered the greatest weapon against spirits, the key of providence that eliminates wandering souls. It sublimates the wish of the 500-year-old magus with great mercy. I guess Zoken is finally dead, huh? Thanks to Kide. Who would have thought that he's so useful on this route? Anyway, that's it for today, and so next time, Shido versus Berserker, I guess? We'll see. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Bye bye.